Welcome everyone to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene, where we serve the hottest tea. Join me and my baby stripper voice.
And me welcoming you all to eavesdrop onto our uncensored opinions. This platform is used to inform, laugh, and potentially inspire others to speak out about things we may all be thinking about but are too afraid to say out loud.
And don't forget, babes, if the shoe fits, wear it. Welcome back, guys, to Spilling the Tea with Estee.
And Marlene,
We're finally back.
I'm excited.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bitch.
I'm tired of saying Happy New Year to you.
I know that I saw you like
On Happy New Year.
Yeah.
On the New Year. On the second of the New Year.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little
Where
bit
we've been?
Where we've been, what we've been doing, why we're excited?
We've been in technical difficulty hell, as people all know.
Or what is it? The moon was on retrograde. Mercury was in
retrograde, and it was retrograding for us
in our tech world, in our tech
but
issues.
We're back.
Better than ever.
We stopped being cheap ass bitches and we invested.
We invested in ourselves because that's how much we believe in this podcast.
Yes. And then we just went on a trip because, like, why not?
We needed to go on a trip to refresh.
When life just kicks you down, just
take a trip.
Go somewhere.
Go alone. Don't be waiting for your friends. Fuck that.
But we went with friends.
We went with friends.
So we went to, well, let's like go back from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just explain to people, let's just give people a rundown of our trip that was planned by Giselle Goes Out.
Yes.
We went to Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
Which is in Mexico.
I was gonna say from Mexico for them culture bitches.
For the local bitches. Okay. It's in Mexico.
The 718 bitches.
Yeah. It's in Mexico on the Pacific side.
Yeah, like you're sure about that?
It's on the Pacific.
Okay.
So like we just have like funny stories to like share and to recap.
Well, okay, so if you haven't seen...
Oh yeah, so we have a blog.
Yes. That
is exclusively on our YouTube page.
Exactly.
Where we just recap some of our like better moments of the trip.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't capture everything.
It's like the gist.
It's the gist.
I got a lot of people that watched it.
Yeah.
And their feedback was that they definitely want to come on a trip with us.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, I really want to go with you guys.
You guys look like you guys had a great time.
Yeah, that was the feedback.
I love that.
And we did.
We had a great time. I feel like we are a great time.
Yeah.
We like to laugh. We like to enjoy the moment on being on vacation. Doing enough, but not doing too much.
Yeah.
So that's the middle ground for us. But do you want to start from my anxiety attack?
Well, you should start with your anxiety attack.
All right. So we're going to recap a little bit of Puerto Vallarta with funny stories that happened. And I just want to mention this has been about...
3.5 weeks?
No, it was only 5 days, but we have so many stories.
Oh, I think you meant like it's been since.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 5 days.
It was 5 days, but I feel like 5 days, a lot of stories.
Yeah.
We can start with the day of.
Mm-hmm.
Our flight was at 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
10-ish, right? And my boyfriend slept over. I was like, all right, I'm going to left everything good. And then something like told me.
We're coming to my house.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to Estee's house. So I was like, something told me like, check your boarding pass. So then I checked my boarding pass that I added on my wallet. And it did not say TSA. Pre.
How ghetto.
I was like, oh my God, like, how can this happen? Did I put in my global entry number into like my ticket? What the fuck? Like, now I'm gonna have to make the line like the peasants. I was stressed. So immediately I told my boyfriend, let's go. We gotta go.
Well, you're stressing him out.
I started stressing him out. Well, like, I didn't want to be vocal about it, but I was like low-key stressed.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Estee's house, and then we're like, Estee, my thing doesn't say TSA.
And she starts stressing me out.
So then I was like, let's go. Let's do the shot.
And I had planned like mimosas to like send this out. If you saw the video, you saw like the mimosa gave me a facial. And she's like, we need to go. We need to go. Like stressing us out. Like, we need to go. We need to get to the airport. And it's like, okay, like they're just gonna put it for you.
No,
When
sometimes they don't because then they're like, oh, they didn't do the 24-hour like background check or whatever the fuck on you.
they're gonna put it for you, like it's fine. Like you're not gonna be in the regular line. Like it's fine. Stressing us out the whole time. That we got to the airport and like the revolving doors, like we're going around, and then Marlene like shimmied her way in, and then the door was going around, and there was like a little opening, and Marlene tried to go through the opening, like,
because the fucking lady like came in with us, and I'm like, why the fuck she joined us? Like,
and then the door wouldn't move, and Marlene's trying to get through that little
opening.
hole, and then the bag wasn't going through her carry-on, and she's like, I need to get to TSA. And we're like, Marlene, you're gonna break the door.
Anxiety at this point.
Thankfully, we got to the check-in stand, and you had pre-check.
My ticket, my printed ticket, the old ancient way of doing shit, not on your fucking phone. The TSA pre was there. I was like, oh, okay, now we can relax. Now we can walk. Now we can take our time. And, it's only going to take us about 10 minutes to go to TSA. We could go have a nice drink at the restaurant.
After you were like casarándonos.
Yes. So that's how our trip started.
Yeah.
The flight was good.
The flight was fine.
Wait, and then when we land.
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember what we did in the airport. We just ate, and then we had like a drink.
Yeah, we had a drink. Nothing too crazy.
We land, and this is when I was profiled as an American by a Mexican
TSA worker.
TSA worker or custom worker.
Yeah. He came up to you.
We go out the plane. We're walking through like a little zigzag, and we get to like where customs is, and there was like two sides to customs, and the little zigzag like line, and then there was like the two sides. This side was open, so I said, let's go on the left because everybody's going to the right.
Yeah.
It was open. The line was open. We go in the zigzag to make this line, and the little motherfucker.
Yeah, he looked like a little turd.
He looked like he was like 19, first job, like a little fucking asshole. Comes up to me and says, excuse me, sir, did you open up this line? And I said, no. He said, are you sure? And I said, yeah. He said, okay, I'm going to go look at the cameras. And I said, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? Go look at the fucking cameras. You probably don't have cameras. You probably don't have cameras. First of all, he went into the lap, and then he went back to the front of the fucking line where he was supposed to be working instead of harassing me.
What do you think gave off American vibes?
I don't know, because I'm not.
You're Colombian.
I'm not an American. God forbid. And so yeah, he tried me, and then to top it off, I kept on looking at him like, where the fuck is the footage? You got the footage? Like, run the footage back. And there was no footage, obviously, because I didn't open the line. It was already open. Then guess what? Another plane landed, and he had to open up the fucking line. So, like, what was the point of that?
No point.
And
I
then,
just find it funny
and
that
then
they
I'm trying to
profiled
like,
you.
and I'm trying to like, where's the thing? And then Marlene's like, don't say anything because we're gonna get arrested. I'm like, we're not gonna get arrested. Like, he tried to play me, and he's not.
I was like, don't get out of control. We still haven't passed by immigration. Let's get passed by immigration. Then you walk out.
Little asshole. There was no footage.
No.
I don't even know if he knows how to work a camera.
But yeah, he was racially profiled.
Yeah.
Well, not racially.
American profiled.
American profiled.
American people are obnoxious, and I'm not.
Yeah. You were just being helpful.
Yeah. So then we try to get swindled for fucking
Oh, cuánto.
No, first we try to get swindled for a timeshare.
Yes. So these people are so sneaky. First of all, when you come out of, getting your maleta, getting your luggage, we were trying to find like a taxi to take us to the hotel, which is only about 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I Googled before we got there. And this person was this lady, she's like, oh yeah, like, you could come and order the taxi here. So I was like, okay. So then this guy, he like takes out a whole map and he's like, oh, this is where you're gonna be
He
at.
starts talking,
And
offering discounts.
yeah, and I was like,
Long story short, like, your boyfriend that's very nice, he was just going along with it.
yeah, he was just like going along, like not stopping him. And I was like, all right. So I was like, I already knew where this was going. So I did the gentle, but not gentle, very respectful way of telling the person it's not gonna happen, because he was trying to have us
Go to a lunch.
go to a lunch to hear them talk
And you
about
know
a
that means a
timeshare.
timeshare.
And we were not trying to do that. So I said respectfully, and if you've traveled with me before, I am well spoken in Spanish, but I will like put you in your place without cursing you out.
Mm-hmm.
So I told the guy, I said respectfully, or in Spanish, honestamente, señor, yo no voy a atender.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, why? In English, honestly, I'm not going to attend. And he goes, oh, but why? And I was like, honestly, I'm trying to be on top of this man at 8 o'clock in the morning, not at a brunch.
Yeah.
And
he keeps going. Like, he wouldn't take no for an answer. He wouldn't take no for an answer. And I eventually had to step in and be the bad cop. And I was like, is the cab on the way? And he said, no. I was like, it's not. All right, guys, let's go. Because this guy's wasting our time.
Yeah, I was like, Ace was like, nice. I was medium. Esty was like, no.
This asshole.
This asshole, yeah.
We eventually got different prices for like a regular cab.
Yeah.
So we walked out of the airport.
We walked,
to get an Uber. And then this poor guy goes up to Marlene. He goes like,
he was a local.
He was a local. And he said, amiga. And Marlene turns around. She goes like, ¿cuánto?
Because I was just so tired of getting different prices and trying to get gypped that I was just so annoyed. And I was just like, how much?
And he
¿Cuánto?
And he goes like, what did he say? He was like, oh, but like, déjeme hablar. Like, let me finish. And Marlene was like, yo soy medio azarada. And he was like, yeah, I see. And then he gave us a price. I forgot what the price was, but we were like, sure. Like, and then he showed us like his tiniest little car.
A Camry.
And with the cracked windshield. And he was like, you guys all fit in there. Like.
And the luggage?
It was 3 of us in the back. And then your boyfriend was in the front. And he had to carry a luggage in the front with him. Because it's just super ghetto.
I was like, we always end up in these situations, though.
We always have like a ratchet ass car ride. But then aside from that, everything was good. We went to the hotel. We went to dinner that night, which was delicious.
Yeah, we had amazing food outside of the hotel.
Yeah.
One thing for us that we've learned is all inclusives are not for us.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's great for families and whatever, but it's just not.
And children, which we don't have.
So. Yeah, so it's just,
It's not it.
But we ended up New Year's at the club.
Oh, one piece of advice I can tell anybody. It pays to be hot.
It does. And well dressed.
Well dressed, but just hot. Like we got paid for being hot that night.
We didn't spend that much money.
No, because we're hot.
We were
hot. So we go to the club. 2 of the people that were the trip with us, Giselle and her boyfriend, were there the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And they reserved like a certain VIP for New Year's.
Yeah.
The party at the club, which was overlooking the first floor, like in a balcony.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my spot because I love to look down on people. So it's me. I want to be high up.
I feel like we're at an age where we want to be in the mix, but we also want to like not be in the mix.
Make the mix adjacent.
Yeah, the mix adjacent. I don't need to be in the mix. I don't need like, that's like when shit happens.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be too close to shit. And plus, we're the party.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So we had like our above section separated. Like
Yeah.
we were like, that's it. And then the manager, like whoever that girl was, oh, like you guys want to be in the front, in the first floor, like in the VIP here. And she's trying to like tell us to go there. And we're like, no, like we reserve the top. And then she's like, no, you guys can be here. Like you guys should be here. This is like where like the hardest spot. Like we're like, no. And then she's looking at us because everybody else there looked a little like
Regular.
they didn't look good. And then they
Damn,
did.
you. Wait. I just want to point out the difference in personality.
They
Regular, they didn't look good.
well, just keep it real. They didn't look good.
They didn't try.
They didn't look good. So they also didn't sell out the first floor VIP, so it looked a little empty.
Yeah.
And we were upstairs, and she kept on trying to. We're like, ma'am, no, we reserved upstairs because that's what we want. We don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Eventually, she was like, fine, you guys go upstairs. And we're upstairs, ringing the new year, like, had a great time, like, watching our vlog. Like, had like,
I think I had like 6 shots by New Year.
yeah, like, we had like,
I was a little dazed.
We had bought a couple bottles, like,
yeah.
We had the best time.
With our own space to dance, to
yeah,
move
because
around.
And the top floor was just like us and like another couple.
Yeah.
And there was just like we had room to like
move,
like bop around.
Exactly.
And then eventually like our bottles finished and we were like debating, should we get like another drink? Should we like go elsewhere?
No, we were gonna go somewhere else. We were gonna close the tab and go somewhere else for another drink, a little bit more local, I think it was.
And then eventually she came to us and then she said, well, like we said, should we like stay here, get like another bottle because then we're gonna have to make a line somewhere else.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, like we said, we all agreed, let's get another bottle because it's gonna be the same amount of money we're gonna spend on getting like another drink. Got another bottle, and then here comes La Tigra to just do her little like negotiating. And she was like, "You guys need to be downstairs."
Again, with the downstairs.
Because we were dancing.
We were dancing.
We were like having fun. Downstairs was very not dancey. Like people weren't dancing. People were just like bopping.
Yeah, like I just don't get the new generation.
So she was like, you guys need to be downstairs. Like we need to like bring the ambiente. And we're like, because downstairs is also a lot more packed.
Yeah.
Eventually she was like, you guys go downstairs. You guys look good. We all looked like perfection.
We all did our makeup and we were dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, if you guys go downstairs, I'll give you guys a bottle for free of what you guys were drinking. So we're like, oh, so you're saying that we are like really pretty. And
how shallow are we?
Like, oh, like we need to be there because we're so pretty. And she was like, yeah. So
it pays to dress the fuck up is the moral.
Yeah, so we went downstairs and we were like really tipsy by that point.
No,
so we just started dancing. And then we turned the party out because then people were dancing.
Exactly.
That's when I met my fans.
Yeah. Oh my God. First of all, you were adopted.
Mm-hmm.
They saw you dancing and they were like...
It was some girls.
Some girls were dancing.
That were like on the lacrosse team.
They were like influencers. And because it was like we were like sitting in like a nook of a couch. And then like there was... like a little platform, like a table,
where you
can stand and dance. So we were standing and dancing because that's what we do.
Yeah, we like to look down on people.
His words. So then they took you on. Like
yeah, they grabbed me and like brought me to their section.
You and took them to your section. And I think you even took a shot from their bottle.
I took a shot. I was like on their Instagram Live.
Yeah, like I was just like
they were dancing. They were like on Instagram Live.
I was like, I lost him.
They were like talking to me. I don't know what the fuck they were saying.
It was a vibe.
Yeah.
That was a great night. A great way to ring in the new year. Would you say, and I even asked you this the other day.
Oh God.
Would you wait into like the first or the second to travel? Or it just hits different when it's New Year's at 12 and you're somewhere else?
It hits different.
It's worth
the extra amount of money you're going to spend. It just hits. Like ringing in the new year, when it hits 12, you're like somewhere tropical.
Oh yeah, that's different too.
Like it just hits, especially we live in New York. Like it just hits, like it makes everything worth it.
I think it's worth the extra money. Sometimes even the stress at the airport, because...
But it's not even that... I mean, we
don't...
Aside from your TSA shit, it has not been that stressful.
He's like, aside from your TSA...
It has not been stressful.
Imagine you would have woken up that day with no TSA pre on your ticket. You would have had anxiety too.
I would have had anxiety when I got there and they couldn't do it for me. Because I don't want to be with the regulars.
He doesn't want to take off his shoes, y'all.
I don't want to take off my shoes. I don't want to be with the common people.
Like when we went to Spain and we had to take off our shoes and there was no TSA pre.
Yeah, but those were such hard times.
Okay, back to the show.
But yeah, so that was our New Year's.
That was great.
But should we take a break and then continue with
A little bit
a
more.
little more funny stories that we had?
Yeah, and then let's talk a little bit about what we're looking forward to this year.
Okay.
We'll be back, guys. Welcome back to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene. Welcome back. We were just discussing our trip again, and I just want to point out that is very important that even though you have group trips, one, to have a moment for yourself.
That is very big. I think for me, like I always need like even if it's like half an hour of just like
You.
just being in my thoughts.
I think that's really important because when you're on vacation, you got like a lot of personalities.
Yeah, and then our group of people, like
We're loud.
there is a lot of personality from everybody.
Yes. Even the men, let me say.
Like what is it called? Nobody's a that's saying a shrinking violet.
Yeah, nobody. So, and then two, if you're going on vacation with a group and you're going with your couple or your partner or your man or your wife or whoever, it's important to have your own date night. I think that's really important and something I've learned as time goes on. Because you want to also like make it feel like you're dividing that time just for that person and just make them feel special. So I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
But
So you're gonna talk about your date night?
well, I went to this restaurant. First of all, let's bring it back. My boyfriend was gonna take me to this place called Le Cliff,
Yes.
and it's a gorgeous restaurant
On a cliff.
on a cliff.
Like I think you enter from the top, and then you come down to tables, and
Yeah.
they're all scattered
Yeah.
through the cliff.
Exactly. It's beautiful. Like I love a restaurant. First, I love a restaurant one that gives me a great craft cocktail, gives me a great view. Food is great. I love seafood, so it has to just be great. So he already knows like what I like.
All the requirements he checked off.
Yeah. So then it's the day before and we're like, oh, like looking into like how he gets there. And he goes, it's a 6-hour drive. And I'm like, why the fuck is it? And it's because it's like adjacent from where we were, but it was like on a cliff. So you basically like have to go around town to get on the cliff, I guess.
You have to go like around some mountain.
Yeah, you got to go around the mountain.
Or you could take a little boat.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 minutes away.
So yeah. So I think the waiter told us.
Was it the waiter or was it
A cab driver?
Someone,
a local person told us like, oh yeah, that restaurant actually is
in the with the hurricane that happened like 2 months ago in Mexico.
It was hurt by the hurricane.
Like half of the cliff is missing.
So I look at my man and I was like, so you're trying to get rid of me? You're about to have me on this cliff?
Half a cliff.
Half a cliff? No. So then I was like, we need to reroute something a little more local. So we keep seeing this restaurant when we pass by. Every time we go on a cab, it says La Leche. So I was like, oh, that seems interesting. We look at the menu, it's really cute. And then it was a great vibe. It was a great dinner. Everything was great. But then when I finished my dinner and we meet up with the group, they told me a little story that I didn't know I was at harm's way when I went to this restaurant.
So we got in a cab we're going somewhere. And you were on your date at La Leche and they were talking to the cab driver. And then he said, yeah, at La Leche, that's when they kidnapped El Chapo's kids. They went and just took them. And we said, Marlene is there. And
Now.
And we know how fucking anal Marlene is. That we couldn't wait to tell her that they kidnapped somebody where she was at.
I was like, so I was in danger again, twice.
Mm-hmm.
I told my man, I was like, do you even love me? Like,
yeah, but they wouldn't have kidnapped her. You're not his children.
No, yeah.
They would have been like, that's this bitch. Like, we don't want her.
Exactly. But it was just hilarious to me that I was in harm's way twice in one day.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's talk a little bit about what we do every time we go on vacation.
We drink. No.
I'm like, that's obvious.
We usually try to like wake up the last day
Mm-hmm.
for sunrise,
Yes.
and we try to manifest our future.
And we try to leave things that don't serve us anymore. When we come back, we don't want them in our lives anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little tradition we've adapted for a while. Now for 3 trips.
I think so, yeah.
Ever since Cabo, when you were dying. And
Yeah.
I did that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a little bit of manifestations. Well, actually, on New Year's, you said you were going to do something and you didn't even last 12 hours doing it into the new year. What was that?
I said I was gonna stop being shady.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
8 hours later, the shade was still coming.
It didn't work out. But we can try again next year.
But I think being shady or your little shady comments is part of your personality.
Yeah, it's also I'm trying to make a career. Trying to make a career out of it.
But yeah, that's just one of the things we like to do. On the last day, you went into the beach and cleansed yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't.
All the negativity.
Exactly. What is, I guess, one of the things you want to do or have resolution for 2024?
I wrote a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wrote a lot. Um, just like career wise, I wanna maybe try something new.
Okay.
Um, love life, trying to find a good quality man. Emphasis on the quality, not no bum ass guy.
So don't even, as I like to say, I'll say before, if you're gonna step up, if you're gonna step up to the plate, step up correctly.
Yeah. Um, I want this podcast to be successful.
Yes, that
And we
was on
finally have
my resolution.
now we have good equipment, so that's a step in the right direction.
Yes, everybody can stop complaining that they think that I'm down the hallway.
And I mean, there's so many, but those were like the three main ones.
I think for me, I came back from Mexico very clear minded of what are my goals and what I want to achieve this year. I also came back with a mindset that if just because you may be a friend, a family member, a parent, whoever it is, I am not going to accept less than what I give. I'm very big on energy, and if I have a little inkling of like just a little negative or like just questioning, you don't need to be in my bubble.
Yeah.
So I'm really big on that. And I just want to be at peace. I want to just focus on myself, my relationships, my friends, and those that serve me and I serve them. And I don't want to be questioning. I left a lot of things in 2023 that if I like had a little question about it, I addressed it. And then I'm like, all right, I addressed it. Now the person knows.
Clean slate.
Clean slate. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
And if something happens again, then I'm like, all right, so now we know. And
I
that's
left the people I needed to leave in 2023 there.
I think it serves its purpose. And I also think that when sincere conversations are to be had with people that maybe you had a disagreement with, the time will happen when it's supposed to happen for a sincere conversation, because forcing conversations or forcing to fix things is just not going to end well. And it's sometimes you leave the conversation unsatisfied.
That's a really good one.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that you guys are thinking about what you want to be remembered for. If you were in somebody's life, what do you want to be remembered for?
Oh God, I'm gonna be like messy. Oh,
Messy,
he's so messy.
but also always a good time, always makes me laugh, has good energy. So if you are crossing paths with somebody, what do you want to be remembered for? And does this person that's in your life serve a good purpose in your life?
Mhm.
So yeah.
And just be hot.
And that's a moral story. Be hot, dress the fuck up.
Yeah, and opportunities will come your way.
Opportunities will come your way when you put yourself on that path as well.
Of being hot. Bye.
Bye, guys. Welcome back.
Thank you for listening to Spilling the Tea with us, Estee and Marlene.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform. Bye, guys.